How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. And I must say, we had a strong sell-off inside of the market and it held up fairly well. So going into tomorrow, I want to make sure you guys are prepared because we are still looking bullish. The trend is still looking good. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.26, being down 9.19%. On the low, it tested $3.22, and then on the high, testing $3.45. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.464 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 32.627 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 50.04, so right there in the middle. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, but we are above the 50-day, and we just broke through the 21-day EMA where it's set at 327, and we ended up closing at 326. So for the most part, things are still looking good for BBIG. We did have a pullback in the market as a whole, and the fact that it was able to hold up above 320, I think that is a good achievement. If we go into tomorrow, we end up pulling back even further, then of course I want to see if we could hold up 315. If we can hold up 315, then we know the area of support that has to hold up will be right here at the 50-day above $3, and so let's just call it around $3.07, but we know $3 has been shown to be a strong support. If we end up having some strength and there's more buying pressure, of course I want to see us being able to get above 345. I want to see that move going to 360 and then making that move to 380 like we did earlier in the week. And I feel this is very doable, especially if we have more volume coming into the stock. Like I said, if we don't have that volume coming in and it starts dying down, this is where we can start seeing the stock going on a downtrend. And that's why I'm seeing for the past 2 trading days, having these red days, I want to see us actually reverse that pattern. If we can't, like I said, we want to see if $3 can hold up. So let's see how it performs going into Friday. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. Scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have for the 16th, we have Relay Capital Management Inc. that purchased 300 shares, and all the others we have already covered. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 50.61%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 13.96 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated just now, and then for the short borrow fee rate being at 101.72%, and that's what we love to see. And then when we take a look at the history, the short volume for the close of the 15th, it was at 25.40, and then for the close of the 16th, which was yesterday, being at 50.61. So it is pretty much doubled. So one of the things we need to pay attention to, BBIG does have short squeeze potential, and this is why when we have buying volume coming in, this is the play you want to keep on your radar. Now let's get into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflows at 13.49, then on the outflows at 15.82. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0.46, on the medium it was 9.01, and then on the small it was 4.02. Taking a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 1.38. On the medium, it was 10.22. And then on the small, it was 4.22. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, February the 17th, it being that negative outflow, just over 921,000. And then when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying, but keep in mind it was still fairly close. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 15.79%. So this is not too bad whatsoever. It wasn't too long ago when we were seeing it as high as 33%. So what does this tell us? There are still many who are holding on to their positions. There are traders that are going in and out of this play. That's why there's a lot of volatility. We also did have a strong sell-off as we got closer towards the end of the day. But like I said earlier, I think the stock held itself up very well. But I'll talk about some key levels that it has to hold going into tomorrow and as well as next week. So let's get into it right now inside of the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for BBIG in regards to the price action, if we end up having a pullback going into tomorrow, I want us to hold up at least $3.15 or $3.10. And we know the area that has to hold up is that $3 level, because breaking through $3 can send us back to around $2.90. And as well, if it goes back even more, we can get down to $2.60. So be aware of these levels. Now, if it looks bullish and we start showing some strength, of course, we want to see us get back to $3.60. On the previous day, we closed at $3.59. And remember, we ended up seeing a high of $3.83. So we want to see these levels being revisited. BBIG can get to $4 if the market is strong and we have that buying volume. We didn't have a lot of volume on the day, and of course, it's had an impact on the stock along with what was happening inside of the market. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. Plus, on top of that, in regards to the short borrow fee, it is back over 100%. So we know whenever this happens, we have to keep BBIG closely on the radar. And this is why I talk about it. Do your homework, do your due diligence, and you'll have a good reason why you need to be looking at this stock. Also, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, there has been some interest and so forth, but let's be honest here. BBIG has come a long way when it was trading back around $2.50. More people know about the company. They have been making some great moves operation-wise, especially with the acquisition of Advisor. So if you're a long-term investor, there's a lot to look forward to, but do know this is going to continue to be a volatile play since there's going to be many traders that are in it. So this is why you need to have high conviction. And for anyone who's thinking about getting into a position now, I would highly suggest you wait for the market open. Don't be building out your positions in the pre-market or in the after hours. This is not wise. You want to see what happens during the market open and be able to maximize that dip when it does present itself. Usually that happens first thing in the morning. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.